Hey, amazing peeps. I'm in my kitchen now because I'm cooking dinner, but I wanted to get my reading done for today. It is The Fifth Agreement. I'm Tracy Lene. Like, share, subscribe. We are still in the chapter 8 because yesterday I had a breakdown, a meltdown of sorts, where I gave the best I could, but it wasn't enough to get through. And I still gave my best. So I'm back today because I promised that I would do this every day. So that's being impeccable with my word. I do enjoy doing it a lot. It's therapeutic for me as well, but I'm not perfect. So there are days where things just don't hit me well. And yesterday was one of those days, but I'm back. Happy Juneteenth. This is the day that Texas found out that slavery had been abolished 2 years ago, and we celebrate it. I first give honor to my ancestors who, without their sacrifices, I would not be here. You see glitter on me because I was working on some phone cases. So here's one. This is my old phone case. I've made me a new one so I can show you the old one. And I was working on some others for people. Well, let's get started. Like, share, subscribe. The Fifth Agreement. And almost everything we know isn't true. It's just a point of view, but we believe it. And we deliver the same distorted message to our own children. The whole chain continues, and the history of humans repeats itself again and again and again. Long ago, wise people compared the dream of the first attention to a marketplace where thousands of people are talking at the same time and nobody's really listening. The Toltecs called this the mitote, which is a Natal word meaning extreme gossip. In that mitote, we use the word against ourselves, and when we relate with other people, we use the word against them. Every human is a magician, and in the incarnation, in the interaction between the magicians, there are spells being cast everywhere. How? By misusing the word, by taking everything personally, by distorting everything we perceive with assumptions, by gossiping and spreading emotional poison with the word. Humans cast spells mainly upon the people we love the most, and the more authority we have, the more powerful the spells. Authority is the power that human has to control other humans, to make them obey. You can see yourself as a child being afraid of authority. You can also see adults being afraid of authority. Words spoken with authority become a powerful spell that affects other humans. Why? Because we believe those words. If we understand the power of symbology, we can see where the symbols are taking us. We can see it by the way we behave, by the interaction we have with everybody, but mainly with ourselves. We become possessed by an idea, by a belief, by a story. Sometimes it's anger that possesses us. Sometimes it's jealousy that possesses us. Sometimes it's love that possesses us. The symbols are competing for control of our attention, and in one way or another, they're changing all the time. They're taking turns possessing us. There are thousands of symbols that want to take their place in our head and control us. As we said before, all those symbols are alive, and that life comes from us because we believe. The symbols are talking and talking inside our head. They never stop. It's just as if we have a narrator in our head telling us everything that is happening around us, as if we are not aware that we're perceiving it. And now the sun is going down. That's good. I'm hot. Look, there are trees over there. What is that person doing? I wonder what he's thinking. The voice of knowledge wants to know what everything means. It can hardly wait to interpret everything that happens in our lives. It's telling us what to do, when to do it, where to do it, how to do it. It's reminding us all the time what we believe about ourselves, what we don't believe about ourselves. It's telling us everything that we are not. It's asking us why we can't be the way we should be. In the dream of the first intention, the world we live in, attention. In the dream of the first attention, the world we live in is just like any reality show, hosted by the voice of knowledge. And for sure, we are always going to be right, and everyone else is always going to be wrong, because we use everything that we know to justify everything in our show. What a reality show. Rated number 1. We create every character in the story, and whatever we believe about every one of them is not the truth, and it never was the truth. With a whole tree of knowledge living in our head, we no longer perceive the truth. We only perceive our own knowledge. We only perceive lies. When we only perceive lies, our attention becomes trapped in the dream of hell. We no longer perceive the reality of heaven all around us. And this is how humans fell from paradise. In the story of Adam and Eve, we had a great exchange with a snake who lived in the tree of knowledge. That snake was a fallen angel who delivered distorted messages. Speaking of which, okay, so we say God created everything. So this angel that fell, was that angel not created by God? If God knew everything, God knew that angel was going to fall. And that's the way I see it. And they said yes, because he was so beautiful, and he told God, I want everybody to worship me. But then if God's mind is everybody's mind, then God's mind has a negative side to it. I know we don't want to hear that. We're like, oh no, God is so perfect. But is negative not perfect? Is it just the thing that challenges us to make ourselves better? Maybe that's what it is. The snake said to us, do you want to be like God? A simple question, but can you see the trick? If we had said, no, thank you, I am already God, we would still be living in paradise. But we answered, yes, I want to be like God, because we didn't know we were already God, because God didn't tell us. So why didn't God tell us? We didn't notice the lie. We bit the fruit and swallowed the lie, and then we died. What makes us bite the apple without noticing the lie is the doubt. Before we have the doubt, we don't even know the truth is there, and we just live it. Once we ingest the lie, we no longer believe that we are God, and this is when we start to search for God. Next, we believe that we have to create a temple to find God. We need a place to worship God. We have to sacrifice everything to reach God. We have to create pain in ourselves and offer pain to God. Very soon, we have a big temple with thousands of people believing that they are not God. Of course, we need to give God a name, and the result of that is the creation of religion. We create the god of thunder, the god of war, the goddess of love, and we call them Zeus, Mars, and Aphrodite. There were thousands, maybe millions of people who believed in these gods, and we worship these gods. They offered their lives as sacrifice to these gods. They even killed their own children as an offering to these gods because they believed these gods were the truth. But were they? As you can see, the first lie that we believe is, I am not God. And I know that I am God. And in that knowing that I am God, then somebody said to me, why you can't do this and that? Well, maybe that's not what I'm supposed to be doing at this stage as God. Doesn't mean I'm not God. From this comes another lie, then another, and we believe and believe and believe. Very soon there's so many lies that it's overwhelming, and we forget our own divinity. We see the beauty and perfection of God, and we want to be like God. We want to be the image of perfection, and we search and search for perfection. Humans are storytellers, and we tell our children stories about a God who is perfect, about a God who judges us and punishes us when we misbehave. We tell them about a Santa Claus who rewards little children who are good, or more like God. These messages are distorted. The kind of God who plays with justice doesn't exist. Santa Claus doesn't exist. All that knowledge in our head isn't real. You see, when we talk to the snake in the tree of knowledge, we talk to the distorted reflection of ourselves. That snake in the tree of knowledge is who we are really afraid of. We're afraid of our own reflection. Isn't that silly? Imagine looking at a reflection of yourself in the mirror. The reflection appears to be an exact copy of what is real, but the image in the mirror is the opposite of what is real. Your right hand is your left hand in the mirror, and the truth is always distorted by a reflection. When we are children, the mirrors around us hook our attention so we can see them, and what we see are distorted images of ourselves according to their mood, according to the moment when those mirrors are reflecting to us, according to whatever belief system they are using to justify their perceptions. The humans around us tell us what they believe we are, but there isn't a clear mirror to reflect what we really are. All the mirrors are completely distorted. They project what they believe onto us, and almost everything they believe is a lie. We believe it or we don't believe it, but when we are children, we are innocent and we believe almost everything. We put our faith in lies, we give them life, we give them power, and soon those lies are ruling over our lives. Those lies are ruling our lives. The story of the Prince of Lies is just a story, but it's a beautiful story made with the symbols that we can understand and then draw conclusions. I think its meaning is clear. Once we start dreaming that we are not God, the whole nightmare begins. We fall from paradise and go directly to the underworld, to what we call hell. We begin to search for God, and we begin to see for ourselves, because the tree of knowledge is living our life and our authentic self is dead. And this reminds me of another story about Jesus the Christ, who was walking with his disciples when he saw a man who was worthy of his teaching. He went to the man and said, "Come and join me." The man replied, I will come, but my father just died. I have to bury him, and then I will follow you. And Jesus told him, let the dead bury the dead. You are alive. Come with me. If you understand this story, it's easy to see that you are dead when you are not awake, when you are not aware of who you are. You are truth, you are life, you are love. But in the process of domestication outside the dream of the planet hooks your attention. I think with that story, Jesus understood that physical death was not the end. But I don't think that Jesus would tell somebody, don't worry about your daddy being dead, don't bury him, you just come on and hang with me. I don't buy that. But I think the Bible is a book meant to trick us. There's some things in it that make sense to me, but I just hold on to the things that make sense. And the things that don't, I feel like I get to make that decision. And I'm not telling anybody else what it means for them, but I don't let people tell me what it means for me. And the part in the Bible where it says that God had Isaac go up to the top of the hill to kill his son to show that he loved him, I don't buy that. Because if you did that now, if you said, God told me to sacrifice my child and almost chop his head off, but then God told me not to, you be in an insane asylum. Why? Why is something that you say you believe in the Bible not able to be now? Because I don't think they really believe that. And I don't believe that happened. I'm not telling anybody else what they believe. I don't believe that happened. And anyway, why would God need me to prove that I love God so much? The God that they represent to us is so narcissistic and thirsty for attention. But you're God. You don't need to be that. That is the negative side of man needing to keep people in a state of suffering, because we are all gods. The Bible does say that. You are all gods, children of the Most High God, but ye shall die like men because you don't believe. That says it all, if you ask me. So yeah, people say to me, why you believe that part and not this part? Because that part resonates with me. The parts that don't resonate with me, I just chew up the meat, spit up the bones. Little by little, you become a copy of the outside dream. You copy everything you learn. No battery mode. Okay, I'm going to have to hurry this up. I didn't know my battery. Okay, we're going to hurry this up for today. Oh, what did I say? Okay, you just copy not just beliefs, but the behavior, which means you copy not what people say, but what they do. You perceive the emotional state of the people around you, and you even copy that. You are not who you really are because you have been possessed by the distorted image of you. And this may be a little difficult to understand, but all this time it has been you who possesses you. What is possessing you is the virtual you. It is what you think who you are. It is what you believe you are, and that image of yourself becomes extremely powerful. All these years of practice have made you a master of pretending to be what you think you are, and that distorted image of yourself is really your grave, because the real you is not the one who is living your life. And who is living your life? It is the real you who creates all the drama and suffering in life. It is the real you who says life is a valley of tears and we come here to suffer. It is the real you who judges yourself and punishes yourself and invites other people to punish you too. Is it the real you that abuses your body? Is it the real you who doesn't even like yourself? Is it really the real you who's dreaming all of that? Nope, the real you is perfect. No, it is not the real you. You are dead. And that is the truth. And what is the key to coming back to life? Awareness. When you recover awareness, you resurrect and come back to life. In the Christian tradition, the resurrection day is when Christ comes back from the dead and shows his divinity to the world. That is why you are here, to come back from the dead and to reclaim your own divinity. It is time to come back from the world of illusion, the world of lies, and return to your own truth, to your own authenticity. It is time to unlearn the lies and become the real you. And in order to do that, you need to come back to life, which is the truth. Awareness is the key to coming back to life. And it is one of the main masteries of the Toltecs. Awareness takes you down out of the dream into the first attention, into the dream of the second attention, where you rebel against all the lies that are ruling your head. You rebel and the whole dream starts changing. I'm going to stop now because I didn't charge my phone up and didn't realize it's at like 5%. But tomorrow I'll be back, if good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, with the 10th chapter, the dream of the second intention. In the meantime, I wanted to share with you, there's a woman, her name is Dolores, I can't think of her last name, but you can Google her, just Google Dolores Spiritual on YouTube, and she'll come up. But anyway, I'm watching one of her videos today, and she's talking about this, basically how we are in the dream, but we are not. Oh, how we're not awake. But you know what I wanted to do? Let me do this. So I found my cards. I'm gonna do this real fast. These are crystal cards, and I just want to see what energy crystal that may be something that you, if you do crystals, that you may. I'm going to put the energy out there because I am in this space now, and I know the solstice has a lot to do with this. It's a lot of changes coming. So I'm going to and pick one eventually. All right. So perhaps this is for you, perhaps it's not, but this is Moonstone, Mother Goddess. So maybe get yourself a piece of Moonstone. Maybe look up Moonstone, see what it has for you. But meditate on the Moonstone, Mother Goddess. And it's interesting that I picked Moonstone because that is my sun signs. I'm a Gemini. My sun is in Gemini. My rising is Cancer, and my moon is in Pisces. But Moonstone is good for me. I've done my chart. It's really good for me. So this probably was for me. Let's ask for something for you. This is for other people. That could be for you too, but let's just do one more. Breathe. Botswana Agate, breathe. Yes. Look up alternate nostril breathing. I'll show you real fast. I think it'll help me. So alternate nostril breathing. If you're feeling life is getting like, for you, do this. You take your thumb and place it on your right nostril. Prepare your ring finger for the left nostril, but you'll inhale deeply. Cover it up with your ring finger. Open up. Cover. Breathe in. Cover it open. And breathe out. And you do that for as many times. Try to set your timer for 2 minutes and just do it for 2 minutes. It's the alternate nostril breathing. It really helps to calm you. It's good for before you need to make a major decision. Again, thumb on the right nostril. Breathe in through the left. Ring finger covers up the left nostril. You open it up and exhale. And I feel so much better already. So this one was for all of us. Get a piece of Botswana Agate. You don't have to get it to do the alternate nostril breathing. You can just do that. But I just wanted to share that with you in the Moonstone. My daughter just passed by. I'm about to leave now. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.